Oh, hey, this is Kyle Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The 49ers kept it close in Green Bay, but they weren't good enough to top Aaron Rodgers, who led his team back for a game-winning field goal in the final seconds. The Packers win 33-30. Rodgers had 425 yards and 2 touchdowns on the night. The 49ers are now 1-5. They've lost 4 in a row. The NLCS continued last night. Game 4, Brewers-Dodgers. The Brewers won 4-0 to take a... I'm sorry, that was Game 3. The Brewers won 4-0 to take a 2-1 lead. Game 4 is tonight. That was easy to say. Game 3, the ALCS between the Red Sox and Astros later this afternoon. That one is tied up at a game apiece. And the NBA season, the NBA regular season kicks off tonight. Celtics and 76ers in Boston. That's followed by the Thunder and Warriors at Oracle Arena. It is 8:01. Carpets Plus is having our fall sale. 25% off all of your flooring needs. Those are your top stories. And now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHGK.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
I'm not letting you go to work today.
Wait, what?
Everybody, listen up.
Welcome to The Drive.
Morning, morning, morning.
You're gonna talk.
Get on the phone at 339-1140.
Pretty awesome, huh?
Jump in on our text line at 441140.
Everyone is talking about it. You must know that.
The Drive starts now.
All right, we'll get to Matt Barrows on the Firewings hotline here in just a second.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Firewings hotline?
You know what? There's 21 different flavors to choose from over at Firewings.
Yeah, I can confirm that. I've had 20 of them.
Just go to firewings.com, and while you're there, just wing it, would you? Yeah. Always, whenever we do a Kings preview, there are people that are going to agree and disagree. There's one guy who strongly disagrees, thinking we're being pessimists. What about Grant and Doug? What about J. Ross and Damian? They must have no clue what they're talking about, right? I actually don't think Damian, Jason, like if you ask for win totals, and I don't know, honest to goodness, I don't know what they're saying. I don't think we vary.
Well, you don't listen to the lowdown?
I mean, I do. I think I'm saying 20 to 25. I think the variance on this station is probably, my guess would be 20 to 30. In fact, we can go around. Some enterprising young blogger here at the station should probably go to all the hosts and ask them their win totals for the year. I don't think anybody's going to say anything higher than 30. In fact, I don't think anybody's going to say 30 except Matt George probably. I don't think we're that far off. I'm going into some details.
I'm going to put that on Eunice's plate.
From the 916, good morning, guys. Grant said yesterday that wins and losses to him don't really matter. I get that. I'm saying ask Grant. I think if you ask Grant to put an over-under win total on what if he was going to Vegas and betting on this team, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I don't think he would say 30 or above. I don't think so. I think we're all kind of in a similar boat here on the station, what we think, and most people I've seen locally writing about this team, your variances are 20 to 30 wins. I think the average is probably about 25. Jason Ross, somebody texting and said 24 yesterday. There you go. That when you get into the color of the situation, we may have different opinions. That's where the opinions might differ. But I think when it comes to the bottom line, screw how we get there, the bottom line in April where we're at, Kyle, before you get Matt Barrows on the phone, and by the way, I just sent you an alternate number for him. I wanted to give you a couple of little tidbits for you and the listeners before we move to Matt Barrows. A couple of things that really that caught my eye this morning. Everyone's talking about Aaron Rodgers last night, and that's fine, and they should. If I were to tell you he's the first Packer player to throw for 400 yards in consecutive games, would you be surprised? Because I'll tell you that shocked me.
Yeah, I'd be a little surprised.
Considering
400 yards. Now remember, I know they've had some great quarterbacks. Dan Majkowski.
The Magic Man was huge.
No,
Bart Starr wasn't going to throw for 400 yards.
Right, but that's that. Okay, so that's just it. Is even Brett Favre, as much of a gunslinger as he was, 400 yards used to be exceedingly rare.
With all the years of Brett Favre and all the years they've had of Aaron Rodgers, just those two alone, I was shocked. I say shocked here that this is the first time a Packer quarterback has thrown for 400 yards in consecutive games. I would not have guessed that. He also became the first player in NFL history to throw for 400 yards and no interceptions in consecutive games. That also shocked me.
That's incredible.
One other thing that caught my eye, then we'll get Maddie on. Today is the anniversary of the Olympics where the two gentlemen stood on the podium with their fists raised. And that was not, you remember, I'm sure, that iconic photo of the two gentlemen, the Americans, with their fists raised on the podium.
I remember where I was when it happened.
You remember the photo, and this is just I'm not showing you, I'm telling you, of Muhammad Ali standing over a prone Sonny Liston with his fist kind of bent up, and he's yelling at Sonny Liston on the ground. One of the most famous photos of all time. And then do you remember the photo of Michael Jordan in Chicago on his final dunk that he got 50 points on in the slam dunk contest, where he's holding the ball over his head? You see the scoreboard in the background. He's got his tongue out. You remember that photo? I'll show it. Do you remember this photo? Very, very iconic photo. Very iconic photo. And then the Olympic guys. Very iconic photo. All taken by the same guy. All taken by the same guy. Sports Illustrated's Neil Leifer took all three of those photos. How amazing is that? And if I asked 100 people today that were diehard sports fans, hey, who's Neil Leifer? They probably think he was a quarterback for the Cardinals in the 80s.
Neil Leifer?
Liefer.
Neil Leifer is, Neil Leifer is the coach from Any Given Sunday.
Yes. Okay, I thought you were actually going to be like, no, dude. Neil Leifer, actually.
What if I was like, no, Neil Leifer's the guy, he took all those iconic photos? You didn't know that? Hey, join the 1140 Street team at Dave's Pumpkin Patch tonight from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Bring the family for hay rides, food, and the famous corn maze. Details at KHTK.com.
All right, we will get Matt Barrows on here in a second. Dave is from the same guy. Dave, you guys may disagree or agree on you may disagree on win totals, but they don't, and I think he's speaking about Grant and all that, they don't want people fired. They're in on stability. At what point did I say I wanted anybody fired? There's a difference between me predicting people might get fired and coming out and let me be very clear, since there's like one guy out there whose IQ can freeze water here. I don't want anyone fired. I want Vlade Divac to be the GM of this team for 10 years, and I want Dave Yeager to be the coach of this team for 18. Why? Because if that happens, that means the team's doing well. If that happens, that means this team is doing fantastic and that these draft picks are going to pan out. That's what I want. Very clear. From the 916, Dave, why do you hate the Kings? Why do you want the team to leave Sacramento? Also, what is a horseshoe? What does a horseshoe do? Are there any horse socks? That's a phenomenal Billy Madison reference. Joining us right now from The Athletic. If you want the best coverage of the Sacramento Kings, be it November, December, January,
or maybe even February,
the one, the only, Matthew Barrows. Hello, Matt. Welcome in.
Oh, hey, guys. What's going on?
How are you, my buddy? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Little day game after night game action for me. Dragging a little bit, but you know me. I just love to work, so
yeah.
I'm getting after it.
Now, did you make the trip on this one? Did you have to go through all the travel and all that, or were you able to watch from the fine confines?
No. I was in Green Bay last night, and then you end up finishing up all your writing maybe around 1:30, and then you have the 2-hour drive to Milwaukee. So It was it's not a fun road trip, but at least it was an entertaining game last night. I guess that's the silver lining to it all. The 49ers were competitive, and they had a little juice on offense for the first time in a little while.
Let me just say for the record, Matt, we can do this on the air. Let me just say for the record, in the future, if you don't normally are on Tuesdays, but Monday Night Football happens, you have to drive to Milwaukee and fly home, you feel free to shoot your boy a text and say, hey, can we do Thursday or something? I got your back, man. I feel bad. Jeez.
Well, I know that you and everyone else out there needs clarity, needs sort of like to be on the psychiatrist's sofa after a loss like that. And it's my duty. It's my job. I'm the doctor. The doctor is in. So it's my oath to help you out of your mental funk right now.
All right, here with Doc Barrows of The Athletic. Doc, The 49ers, like you mentioned, the offensive juice they had, save a couple of turnovers early in the game. They didn't have a 3-and-out until 2 of their final 3 drives, and then the interception on their final drive. What do you think happened with the play calling there towards the end of the game, especially on that last drive with the interception? They passed it 3 times when Green Bay didn't have any first downs. They were in Packer territory in one play. Felt like the run game might have been some help there.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think what happened was, and you alluded to it, there was another 3-and-out that preceded that, a couple of them actually, where they didn't get anything in the running game. I think there were a couple of runs, and one went for 1 yard and one went for -1, and they had to punt both times, and so I think that Kyle Shanahan was frustrated by that, and I think it's just him. I mean, that's his natural inclination, is to be aggressive. We saw it in the Super Bowl when he was in Atlanta, and we saw it last night. And after you gain that 7 yards on first down, and you're in Packers territory, and Green Bay has no timeouts left, and your running game has done well to that point, I thought that was going to be a run on second down or something very basic, but they didn't. And then on third down, they didn't even have the run as an option. They just had a bunch of wide receivers spread throughout the formation, no one in the backfield, and that does not play to the offensive strength. It doesn't play to C.J. Beathard's strength. This is a guy who's the prototypical pocket passer, came from a very run-oriented offense at Iowa, and the result is unfortunately what you might expect. I mean, including giving, running 3 straight pass plays, only knocking 40 some odd seconds off of the clock, and giving Aaron Rodgers plenty of time to do what Aaron Rodgers does, which was go 91 yards for a game-winning field goal.
I want to go back to Kyle Shanahan real quick, because we all saw the Super Bowl and the 25-point collapse in the Super Bowl. Something Dave alluded to earlier in the show was him not calling a timeout to try and ice Mason Crosby, who had missed 4 field goals and an extra point the week before. And then in Kansas City, we saw him kick a field goal after the offensive pass interference to make it a 14-point deficit 11 with like 3 minutes left. Is there still a maturation process that has to happen with him as a head coach, and is he still trying to figure that out?
Yeah, I mean, it's game management issues, and like I said earlier, to me, it's him trying to resist his his inner Kyle, as it were. I mean, he's a very aggressive guy. That's why he's been successful as an offensive coordinator. But there are some times when you got to ease off the accelerator and just look at that clock and bleed time and hope that all the running that you did in the middle part of the game is going to bear fruit at the end. That's what should have happened after they crossed midfield on that last drive. To me, that was the cardinal sin. Just going 2 plays without hardly running any time off the clock and giving Aaron Rodgers all that time at the end.
Matt Barrows of The Athletic with us. Kyle asks all the smart football questions. Let me ask the dumb football question. Do you think last night was a case of the Niners playing a little bit above their head, or the Packers playing a little bit below their talent level?
I thought that the 49ers, they had suffered the indignity of having their Sunday night game, the upcoming game, taken away from them, which has never happened that early in the season. I mean, that's a slight, if there is one, and I think that they were very eager to, put it to the Packers and more so put it to the NFL and say, you guys were wrong for taking that game away from us. This is what we've got. So I think there was a real electricity, a real momentum. I think that was really helped by the fact that, going back to Shanahan, this is the good side of the aggressiveness. He decided, instead of relying on safe and steady Alfred Morris, let's go with both Raheem Mostert and Matt Breida, two of the fastest guys on the team. The only guy who's faster is Marquise Goodwin. So you had three really fast offensive weapons there, and for most of the game, they were more than enough to keep pace with the Packers, and I thought that, everything was great. I mean, I was writing my game story up until the very end as if they had done just that, kind of showed it to the NFL, had, pulled out all the stops, taken some risks with Mostert, and gambled and won in this game. And then, of course, at the very end, it turned out differently.
Yeah, Raheem Mostert, you mentioned him as a guy that Shanahan turned to last night after a tough performance against the Cardinals. He had 13 carries for 47 yards, I think, going into that game in his career, and he went for 12 and 87 last night. Do you expect him to continue to get work?
Yeah, I do. I mean, to me, that trio really puts a lot of pressure on defenses. There were some runs to the outside, and that's becoming the 49ers' bread and butter, something that they're able to run, especially with Mike McGlinchey, who had another good blocking game. It sort of makes them unique, and when you've got two guys who can do that, we're talking about really elite speed here with both Breida and Mostert. It gives the 49ers a little special something. I mean, we've talked in the past about how they don't have a lot of weapons at wide receiver. One of the ways you compensate for that is having that speed at another position, and I think that's something that really, as Mostert becomes more comfortable in that role, and I think that was it for him. He just never had an extended run at running back after he made it to the NFL. Once he has that, once Shanahan is able to kind of game plan for that two-headed speed monster, I think it is a little something to look forward to the rest of the season on a team where there's not a lot of optimism to go around for the second half.
With the Rams coming up next week, I was asked this question. I wanted to ask somebody smarter than I. If you traded Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan at the beginning of the season, do you think either team would be better or worse than they are right now?
Wow. That's so philosophical.
Yeah.
I'm regretting saying that I would allow you on my sofa to let you kind of say everything that's
Doc is
coming off the top of your head. Yeah, I have no idea, Dave. The experience is a big factor. To me, it's an even bigger factor on the defensive side of the ball. Knowing what to do and having your players have faith in you. I feel like they've got that with Kyle Shanahan. I'm not sure if that's still the case with Robert Saleh on the defensive side of things.
True, and that's when we go into next week. They've got this game to build on now in Green Bay, which I imagine does wonders for confidence. But it's almost rams to slaughter, whatever you want to say, going into next week. And I think of Shanahan and Payton as two Billy the Kid gunfighters going at it, but one of them has a squirt gun because of the injuries. So I would imagine Shanahan is going to be in his magic castle somewhere, trying to figure out how to scheme this thing next week to avoid it from being just a massive blowout.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a good question because it's two teams that basically run the same offense, and one offense has been lights out, and one offense isn't. And the question is it just a matter of personnel, or is there something more to it? To me, when you look at the personnel and you stack it up, roster by roster, the Rams are coming out very much on top, especially at those critical positions like running back and at wide receiver. So I think they've got a decided edge there.
Matt Barrows of The Athletic joining us. Injuries. Anything pop up yesterday that we need to know about?
Well, yeah, by the end of the game, just about all of the secondary was injured, and it played into what happened. I mean, Jimmy Ward was having a strong game at that right cornerback spot, and all of a sudden he comes down with his notorious hamstring injury, and in comes not Akella Witherspoon, but Greg Maben, and he was the guy that Aaron Rodgers picked on at the end of the game. The touchdown, a couple of the throws on the game-winning drive. So that's something to monitor. They have not been able to find a young cornerback that they like on that side. And that happened at the same time that K'Wan Williams, the nickel cornerback, also was knocked out of the game with a shoulder injury, and he was replaced by a rookie, DJ Reed. So two very critical positions at a very inopportune time had to leave the ball field.
Matt Barrows with us. Matt, when looking, I know this didn't. We asked this earlier. I know this didn't. I always have to put the disclaimer. Didn't make a difference. In the end, was probably a break for the 49ers because it was inside the 20. But did you get a chance to look at any replays of that late interception on Beathard yesterday? They showed one on TV. I could have sworn I saw the ball roll and hit the ground, and possession was in question. I know they review all turnovers, but I was a little surprised they didn't spend a little more time on that. Did you catch that play, and what did you think?
I did not. I'm right in the process of reviewing it, so I didn't see it. I mean, the big question after the game was that the right decision by C.J. Beathard? When he only needed 3 yards, why go for, 30, 35 with that throw? And, Beathard was saying that, he got single coverage on Marquise Goodwin. Of course, you're going to go with that one. Shanahan was saying something quite different, that was not the right read. In fact, he said it was the wrong decision to make there, that there were better ones to be had. That's what I'm sort of interested in. Were there any other open receivers? And I didn't see any on first view. I certainly didn't see the ball hit the ground, but I'll definitely keep an eye on that when I look at it again.
Well, that was the one interception for Beathard, and going into the game, I think most people thought this was going to be an absolute torching. So moral victories aside, just focusing on Beathard himself. He's not Garoppolo. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He's none of those guys. But what would your grade be on him so far? It seems like he's been about as good as Shanahan could hope him to be.
Yeah, I would say it's two above-average games and one average game. One game, last week against the Cardinals, where I thought he looked a lot like his 2017 self. But, he rose to the occasion. I mean, this is Monday Night Football in Green Bay at Lambeau Field. And, for a long stretch of that game, he was out-dueling Aaron Rodgers. For a huge stretch of the game, he had a passer rating of 156 point something. It only goes to 158.3. So you literally couldn't have much better a game than C.J. Beathard was having at one point. The issue was finishing on both sides of the ball. Those last few drives, they needed something, and they got nothing. And that's the difference. That's why Aaron Rodgers is an All-Pro, and C.J. Beathard is a guy who's just now coming up in the league. And that was apparent. Would Jimmy Garoppolo have won that game? I have to think that, all things being equal, he has a little bit more magic in his arm at the end of the game for that one first down that they would have needed to kind of clinch it than C.J. Beathard has.
Did I earlier, when I was asking about Shanahan, I think I said Shanahan and Peyton, and I meant Shanahan and McVay. Thank you for catching that.
That's what threw me. I'm like, why is he going with his Saint? I mean, that's tough mental gymnastics for anybody, much less somebody who's gotten like 1.5 hours of sleep last night.
Oh.
So, I was like, where is he going with this?
That's why we need a doctor's help.
You got your songs mixed up.
I was wondering, I was like, Matt, I know this is kind of a weird question, but I rarely stump you. And I did. Somebody on the text line just sent that in and said, you said Peyton, I think you meant McVay. Hey, Matt, you think if Kyle traded spots?
He said Peyton twice, and I'm like, I guess he means Peyton. I mean, he's doubling down on it.
No, I don't have.
Yeah, well, Sean Payton's a hell of a play caller. That's true.
I have no excuse. I was not in Green Bay yesterday. I was not in Milwaukee yesterday. I will say, however, I do have a band concert with my 11-year-old tonight, Matt, and it's been on my mind. I've got to listen to a lot of 11 and 12-year-olds try to play the flute, so maybe that's what it was, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, no problem. I know there's a lot weighing on you with a magic flute coming up.
Yeah, well, in the meantime, while I'm watching that performance, I'll be going to theathletic.com. I will go to the 49ers section. I will read the phenomenal writers, none better in my opinion, and I'm biased, than Matt Barrows. Please, when you read his articles and like them, and of course you will.
Objectively true.
Please remember that at the bottom there are 3 choices to grade the articles. Use the one on the far right, which is the smiley face. That's a mistake I made once, and I will never make again.
Yeah, don't hit the Mr. Yuck signal. That means that it's bad.
Yeah, that's just not acceptable.
Dave, did you drink a lot of poison when you were a kid? You saw that Mr. Yuck stick, and you're like, oh, let's try this.
Yeah, no, but I did eat a lot of glue. That might be part of the
I said
reason.
when you were a kid, not this morning.
Oh, sorry. Well, it goes good with coffee. Matt Barrows, everybody, from the Athletic. We'll talk to you next Tuesday. Please get some rest, my friend.
All right. Talk to you guys soon.
All right. Take care. That's Matt Barrows. Sean Payton. God dang, Dave. Get older. Why don't you? Thank you, Texter, for pointing that out. Usually I hate the text line. That's when it comes in handy. Hey, if Sean Payton and Kyle Shanahan traded spots.
Hey, if
Don't do it, dude. We're late.
okay,
What were you going to say, though?
if he wore a tank top and was like shotgunning a bunch of cheap beer, would he be frat Barrows?
If you grabbed him by the ankles and used him to carry things to your garden, would he be wheelbarrows? That's too easy.
If he was ankle tape that goes on a football player's ankles before a game starts, would he be spat Barrows?
If he was a muscle in your body that you could kind of focus in on to make the rest of your muscles look great,
Yeah, like and do pull downs and
would
stuff.
he be lat Barrows? If he was
Dude,
one
we
of
got a
those,
break.
if he was one of those singers, or was it the jazz singers that they did like do ba da boo boo ba doo ba ba doo? Would he be scat Barrows? Yes.
Another way he could be that.
If you put him on your head and kept his like him flat in the front, would he be hat Barrows?
If like something went wrong and he is kind of upset about it and he wanted to exclaim, so would he be drat Barrows?
Okay, dude, that's just stupid. We'll take a break. When we come back, Iman Shumpert, we think, right here on The Drive, Sports 1140 KHTK.
Since 1994, there has been one radio home for Sacramento Kings basketball.
All right, here we go. Ball game on the line. Boston up by 2. Bounce entry pass goes to Bibby. Weber sets the pick. Bibby drives, throws to Weber. Weber's going to shoot the 3, and he scores it. Chris Weber hits the three-pointer. 4.6 seconds to go.
Can you believe that?
How about that for deception?
Unbelievable. How about that? Oh, boy.
Listen all season long for more memories right here on Sports 1140 KHTK, your proud home of the Kings.
Carmichael Dave here with Kyle Madson to talk to you about Fire Wings.
Fire Wings!
21 different flavors to choose from, of which nice Bueller thing there, of which you've done 20 of the 21.
I have done 20 of the 21. I need to get over there.
Mango habanero, right?
Yeah, mango habanero.
Mango habanero. Breaded Malaysian curry for me, amongst others.
Breaded Jamaican jerk.
Yeah, I got to get in and try that one.
The Thai chili.
Coming soon, the Antelope location. I don't know when, but I know I see the sign. I saw the sign yesterday. I was getting my hair cut.
Another peanut butter wing, obviously.
Peanut butter wings, fantastic.
Don't let the novelty of the name throw you off. Try the peanut butter wing. Thank us later.
Oh, I thought you meant fire wings. Like, don't let the novelty of fire wings throw you off. And when they say fire wings, I don't think they're talking spicy. I think they're saying it like how the kids say. Like,
that's fire.
Those wings are fire.
Yeah.
Go to firewings.com, find the location nearest you, and you tell them Carmichael Dave and that Kyle Madson guy sent you.
This is Boomer Esiason with the CBS Sports Minute. Last night, the Maple Leafs beat the Kings 4-1. Toronto, now 6-1, leads the NHL with 12 points and is averaging 4.7 goals per game. Nonetheless, they could be even more lethal with center William Nylander. Instead, the 22-year-old budding star is holding out. Nylander saw the Leafs shell out $77 million over 7 years to lure former Islanders center John Tavares, and he knows that they'll soon have to pay other rising superstars in Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner, all within the context of a hard salary cap in the NHL. Restricted free agents such as Nylander have little flexibility. Plus, he's getting pressure now to accept a so-called hometown discount, much as Tavares did, if you could call it that. The Leafs appear to have all the leverage. Still, this is going to be interesting to see who blinks first and how much money does Toronto really truly have under the salary cap. I'm Boomer Esiason.
You know what's not smart? The way hiring used to be. Job sites that overwhelm you with tons of the wrong resumes. Now there's a smarter way at ZipRecruiter.com/go. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the right people for you and actively invites them to apply. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. based on hiring sites rated by Trustpilot with over 1,000 reviews. And right now, my listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/go. That's ZipRecruiter.com/go.
Car guys know not all motor oils are created equal, because when your engine hits 75,000 miles, cheaper motor oils won't do. That's why Valvoline created full synthetic high mileage with Max Life technology, designed to fight sludge, condition seals, and better protect critical engine components as your engine ages. Keep your high mileage ride driving well into the future. Valvoline, trusted for 150 years. Now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, buy 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic high mileage and a filter for just $34.99. Terms and conditions may apply.
Okay, so summer's coming to a close. Winter's creeping up on us. Garner Roofing is trying to get you prepared for that winter season with their $69 inspection. They also have an end of summer sale going on right now. They also offer veteran and senior discounts. They got a lot of stuff going on right now. They have financing options available with no payments, no interest until 2020, or as little as $89 per month with 0 down. They've also got terms up to 30 years, and some financing isn't even credit-based and is tax-deductible. Call them right now, 833-R5O's and an F, or online at GarnerRoofingInc.com.
Hi there, this is Jason Ross, and we all have financial questions. Can we afford a bigger home? What's the best way to save for my next vacation? And can we lease or buy a car? Whether you have questions about saving, spending, or anything in between, Bank of America's experienced financial specialists are here for you. Proudly serving the greater Sacramento area, schedule an appointment at bankofamerica.com/conversation and start the conversation.
Subject to dealer stock on hand and approved customer credit. See dealer for details.
Here, Roseville, think Lexus. Now think the L Certified Fall Collection event, because it's going on right now at Lexus of Roseville, located in the Roseville Auto Mall.
Lexus Roseville. Rayleigh's in Bel Air sponsors this look at weather. Sunny and warm again today. We're going to reach a high of 83 this afternoon. At Rayleigh's in Bel Air, get 4 ripe, creamy, large Haas avocados for $5. And this week, get bone-in New York steak for just $5.97 a pound at Rayleigh's in Bel Air. However you eat, this is how you save.
Sports 1140 KHTK's coverage of high school football is presented by Wingstop. Listen every Friday night to the Wingstop High School Football Wrap-Up Show and get all the coverage on KHTK.com.
Now your sports update. Sports update. Powered by Mercury Insurance.
This is Madson with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Packers beat the 49ers 33-30 on Monday Night Football to wrap up Week 6 of the NFL season. San Francisco falls to 1-5. The Packers move to 3-2-1. San Francisco has now lost 4 in a row. The NLCS continued last night with the Brewers notching a 4-0 win over the Dodgers in L.A. Game 4 of that series is tonight, with the Brewers leading 2-1. Game 3 of the ALCS between the Red Sox and Astros is later this afternoon in Houston. That series is all tied up at 1 game apiece. Also tonight, the start of the 2018-19 NBA season. First, it's Celtics and Sixers in Boston, followed by Thunder Warriors. They open their season tomorrow. They'll be at home against Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz. And don't forget your number 2 seeded Sac Republic FC opened their USL playoff run with a quarterfinal on Saturday against the Swope Park Rangers at Papa Murphy's Park. We hope to see you all there. It's 8:35. Carpets Plus is having our fall sale, 25% off all of your flooring needs, not just some of them, all of them. Those are your top stories, and now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Here we go. The drive continues now.
I had my missed it, sorry. Iman Shumpert, we're hoping will join us shortly. I got to make a command decision here because I have a clip I want to play. Should I play it? It's a minute and a half, but it's the best thing you're going to hear all day long. I can promise you that.
Yeah, play it because as soon as you call or as soon as you start playing it,
he's going to call.
Yeah.
This is De'Aaron Fox. This is De'Aaron Fox for the Players Tribune. And just listen to De'Aaron Fox. Let me unmute this.
The best part about Sacramento is you're only 2 hours away from the good parts of California. Nah, let me flip that. The good thing about California is you're only a couple hours away from the best fan base in the league. What's up, Sacramento? Entering my second year. I've lived here for a year now. And over the summer, I got to thinking, and I wrote a few things down. I didn't know much about Sacramento before I got there. It might be what you think right now. Farm town, quiet, nothing to do. Then I got here. I played here. I lived here. Then I started hearing a different story. They were going to sell the team back in 2011. It was looking like the end for the Kings in Sacramento. They were even looking at different cities. Seattle, Anaheim. Yo, Anaheim? Then something crazy happened. The people of Sacramento straight up came together and said, nah, fuck that. Not without a fight. Fans packed the city council meeting. Over 11,000 people pledged to buy season tickets. They just made noise. They stood up. And yo, they saved the team. They saved the Kings. From being here, maybe it's not surprising to get overlooked or even disrespected, but we don't tolerate it. Sacramento, you don't ask for a lot. Just that we're all in, like you are. I don't want to make any promises I can't keep, but I'll promise this. You fought for us, for this team, this franchise, this city, and that's why we'll fight for you.
Let's go! We're winning the whole freaking thing! That does pump me up. I was going to say,
that 48 wins.
I love that! I love that! And the cynical part of me is like, please don't make this a thing where, like, the team asked him to do it. And no, I really, truly feel, I'm always cynical about that stuff. Is this a stunt? Like, did somebody else write that down and he had to read it? And that was, no, I actually think he wrote that. I think he wrote, maybe not the whole thing. I think he wrote at least the parts that he was talking about. I love that. I love it. How do you feel, Doug? Do you love that? How do you feel, Grant? Do you love that?
Oh, boy!
Oh, man. Give me some chills. By the way, to the person saying turn down the music, it was hard to hear. That wasn't on me. That was on the recording. And yes, I agree, the music was a little loud. Joining us right now, one of your newest Sacramento Kings. I had the opportunity to sit and talk with this guy for a little bit out at the Cage to Cave event. He was nice enough to come out there. Said, hey, come over, sit down. We chatted it up, and this dude's all in for this year. And as a Sacramento guy and as a guy talking to a lot of Kings fans right now, I think that's all you really want to hear is when somebody's all in. It's Iman Shumpert. Iman, it's Dave and Kyle. Thanks for waking up this morning and joining us. How are you?
Oh, of course. I'm good. I actually had to be up anyway. I'm outside playing fetch with my dog right now early. Yeah, so I'm up.
What kind of dog and what's the dog's name?
He's a blue-based shepherd.
Okay.
About the closest looking thing you're going to get to a wolf. His name is Basquiat. That's me and my wife's favorite artist.
How much, how do you track the dog's conditioning and how's it been doing during the off season?
I just keep on going up with how much running he's doing. I'll throw the ball a certain distance and make him chase it down. He runs it down pretty hard.
Perfect.
And we just up the touches. So right now he's at like 50 as far as his conditioning goes. But he started off getting tired after about 15.
Iman Shumpert with us. Iman, I'll come out and say it because you know it. You've read it. You're aware. People are sleeping on you. Iman Shumpert on the Kings. Who knows what to expect? Is he an afterthought? Is he here? What's going on? I'm just going to guess from the few minutes I spoke to you, not that you need motivation, but you're aware people are sleeping on you, and you aim to change that narrative this year.
Yeah, I mean, naturally so. I haven't been healthy, 100% healthy throughout a whole year. In a lot of the years I've been in the league, so it's hard for a lot of people to gauge where I'm at physically, even before they can gauge what I'm going to do as far as gameplay goes. And I mean, that's something that I got to deal with, but it feels really good to be healthy, man. It really does. It's damn near like a new joy to the game for me, being able to run around with no pain and just knowing how long that I've just, gritted my teeth and got through it just because I wanted to help the team.
I was at the Utah game when you subbed in, and you could just tell. I mean, listen, it was a bad game, and we lost pretty bad, but it didn't seem like that was on your mind. What was on your mind was going out there and going minute to minute and doing your job, and you did. How great was it to finally be back in some real NBA game time?
Man, unbelievable. Like I said, it was like I was telling the training staff, I said, I feel bad a little because, it was one of those tough games to watch. And I know the guys that were a part of the game, just my teammates just being in that game and, feeling uncomfortable. And, at times I was so excited and having so much energy that guys sort of were looking like you realize we down 25, like you saying it's all right. And you keep encouraging. It's like, why is he being so positive? And I had to remind them, like, I just sat out a year and a half, really, for an injury, and I don't think anything could ruin my day today. So I apologize if I look like, the game isn't bothering me, but I'm just so happy to be out here right now that I just felt like being positive. And the one thing I did tell those guys is there's going to be games where, we're going to come out there and not have it at all. But as long as we play hard and we continue to do the things that we do, as long as we play like us, you could take a loss playing like yourselves. But that night we just didn't have it effort-wise on the other end due to how we were shooting the ball, and we just can't let that happen.
Iman Shumpert with us. Iman, people are sleeping on you and people are sleeping on this team. And I'm not trying to say, in fact, we just got done saying it's probably going to be a tough year. I'm not trying to pump anybody up for playoffs or that. We'll see how it goes. But in your opinion, not only do you have something to offer and are you healthy for the first time in a long time, but obviously you've seen guys like Fox and Bagley and Giles. There's a lot of young kids on this team. Just from the inside, your thoughts on the core of this squad and what they could do developing this year?
Yeah, I like the direction that the organization's going as far as the young guys they're putting in place to be in power later. Me personally, I don't think they're that far off. I've played on a lot of different teams where I feel as far as people being talented and being athletic and gifted, this is a really, really good team. Are we going to have to learn to gel together? Are we going to have to learn how to cast coach's vision onto the court the way he wants it? Yes. But a lot of that is going to come from years of playing with each other. It's hard to keep teams together in this NBA because, a lot of different organizations are trying to do a win now thing. I think it's good that these guys don't have a gun to their head, so to speak, as far as win now. But, the sooner than later, I think this team will learn how they want to win games at the end of a game. And when we do that, we'll be able to judge ourselves. Right now, I think we're just so young that we're just playing, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sooner or later, you create your own identity, and once you create your own identity and everybody in the arena is willing to live and die with the way you play, that's when the energy could pick up and that's when momentum shifts. And I've been a part of a team that, people think we're not going to do anything, and then the momentum shifts and you got the whole city behind you. And, that's what I've been, looking to do. I just came from a Cleveland team where the energy kind of went off of us because we had older guys and guys who've been around the block a few times and knew what it took. This team doesn't know what it takes yet, and it's going to be dope for the city to figure that out along with a young team.
You mentioned being in Cleveland with some of the older guys there, and now you come to a Sacramento team that's extremely young. How does your role change between those two types of teams?
It's refreshing for me. I go from the guy that's always quiet and listening and taking everything in, and now all the things that I took in and the things that I kind of learned on my own from being in another situation. I can now come and help to bridge that gap of communication between a coaching staff and a player, or help a guy that I can tell is, you're memorizing a play as opposed to understanding what the play is trying to get accomplished. And those little things, they seem like small things, but throughout my career, I started to learn that these are the little things that keep one guy playing over the next. And these are the little things that keep this guy, he's an all-star now, and this guy is stuck in the same position. These are the little things that I talk about with, the guys that I came in the league with, and older guys that, they have these gems of knowledge, and, they don't care to spread them. They just, they spread them to the guys that they are comfortable spreading them with in the league, and they sort of keep everything else to themselves. I'm not a keep it to myself kind of guy. I'm going to put it all on the table, and let's hope that we win this game. I've never really played the game to, try and get one of my teammates to play bad so that I can get more playing time. Like I'm a sore loser, and I'm trying to win the game. So I think just bringing to the table a championship mentality, and the guys in the locker room knowing that they got a guy that's been all the way down there before, it makes them trust me a little bit more when I give them some direction and they know it's coming from a good place.
Iman Shumpert with us, and as we begin to wrap up, Iman, when you and I sat down briefly at the KHTK event, which again, thank you for coming out too, that was a blast. We talked a little bit about off-floor interests, and everybody knows you have your music off the floor that's very important to you. And you and I also got to talking too. You got a clothing line as well. Now, where do you find the time, I guess, number one, and number two, it's a centerpiece clothing line. What you're heading there for?
Well, first of all, like I've always been really into music and really into clothing, and honestly, I've suppressed the feeling of how much I really enjoy the other two, just because for so long this stigma of he's not focused, or he, I'm really not like the other guys in the league that got to the NBA and decided, I want to try rap out. And it's like, I've been rapping since I was in 6th grade. I've been cutting my clothes and trying to adjust them since I was in high school, because I only had 4 or 5 outfits. So I wanted to make it look like I had a new couple of outfits. And sometimes I steal my brother's jeans and figure out how to make those look like they were mine, even though he was way bigger than me. I've always been really into manipulating clothes and making them look how I want to look. So now that I got my own money, instead of spending my time to play video games or, go to the movies or go do the normal everyday stuff that everybody else does, I just choose to spend my time on things that I can, show the world and present to the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, the reason why I sort of got over that barrier of everything of saying, what are they going to think? I think once I had my daughter, I just stopped caring, because when I play my music, if my daughter likes it, it's like, yeah, it can't be that bad a song, because she's the most honest person in the world. She'll tell you to turn something off in a second. So now I just sort of do anything that can make me smile and make me bring good energy the next day when I go in there to play basketball, man. And I feel like ever since I've set my studio up in my house, and I set my dry erase boards up and my fashion rack, and I just been working on my ideas and getting them all out. I think ever since I started doing that, I haven't had a bad day at work as far as just coming in and feeling like my mind is trapped into something, or I'm doing something too much and now I'm overly frustrated. I think it's dope to keep everything new. It's always new energy coming through me, and I feel like it shows when I go out there and play basketball.
All right, and I see the list of all the things that you either offer or are going to offer in this clothing line. And Iman, let me tell you, I've got people looking up to me for fashion. So I'm at some point you're going to have to tell me where I can go get this stuff. I'm going to rock me some Centerpiece gear at the games, and so the kids these days know exactly where my head's at and that I'm in the game.
I appreciate it. I'll make sure you get some stuff exclusively just for you, bro. We have a centerpieced out. Centerpiece, just add the D on the end and then out.com. And right now it doesn't have all the stuff up. The site's under construction, but we're in the process of just shooting all the photo shoots and little video clips and everything that we're putting together are all getting put up. And once all that's done, everything will go on sale. I'm really excited about it. It's more of an upscale version of the T-shirt lines and everything that I used to sell. It's more of an upscale version now, and taking my logo off of things and just letting people get a piece of my DNA a different way than having to say, oh, look, Iman's logo head is on my shirt type of thing. It's like, we get it, Iman. Like, give us something that we could wear and not think of your face.
I enjoyed our conversation when I met you, and I told you I'm always interested in stuff off the floor as well as on. I think you said a lot of really cool things that are making Kings fans have smiles on their faces when it comes to dealing with the youngsters and your outlook on the year. And there's so much more we don't have time for, but I'd love to be able to talk to you throughout the year about the Kings, your music, your clothing. We got to get back into Eminem and MGK, that battle, which we spoke about as well. There's a lot of stuff to cover, Iman, and I hope we can get you the year. We appreciate your time.
You let me know anytime.
You got it, brother. All right, take care. That's Iman Shumpert of your Sacramento Kings. We blew through the last break purposely because I wanted to get as much of Iman on the show as possible. We'll take a break. We'll come back with a very abbreviated What's on Tap on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Sundays belong to the NFL. Saturdays are for college football. But it all started first on Friday. Join Matt George and Charles T. Hamilton every Friday night for the Friday Night Football Show, presented by Wingstop.
Are you ready for some football?
Recaps, scores, interviews, players, and coaches from your team.
Friday Night Football.
Northern California's Friday Night Football Show on Sports 1140 KHTK. We do sports.
Yeah!
Ram Power Day is going on right now at Hoblet. Ram take up to $12,000 off MSRP on the select 2019 Ram 1500 trucks. The #1 Ram truck dealer in all of California, also offering $19,000 off MSRP on select 2018 Ram 1500 trucks. No hassle, no pressure, ever. And that's why the J.D. Powers Customer Service Award for Excellence, that belongs to Hoblet Ram, just 7 minutes from the airport, right there in Woodland. Check them out online at hobletdodge.com. And for an extra $1,000 off all the savings I already gave you, just simply tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
With a Gold in One Platinum Rewards credit card, you get a low rate and up to 3% cash back on everyday purchases.
3%? Unlike groceries?
Like groceries.
And gas?
You got it.
Okay.
Because as a not-for-profit, Gold in One Credit Union members help each other, getting us all a better deal on just about everything.
All right then. Honey, we're going to dinner.
So apply today. Gold in One Credit Union. We're stronger together. Some restrictions apply. Visit goldenone.com for details.
It's the perfect time to get a new kitchen, bathroom, or patio remodel for zero money down, zero interest, and zero payments for the first 12 months at Quality First Home Improvement. Need a brand new HVAC unit? Well, you can get the new Quality First Comfort HVAC system that will keep you comfortable and warm during the cold winter months ahead. Quality First Home Improvement is voted the best contractor in the area and is a full-service remodeler who will do it all for you and will also finish most projects in just 3 to 4 weeks. Again, they will do it all for you for zero money down, zero interest, and zero payments for the first 12 months. This offer is just too good to pass up. It makes going with Quality First Home Improvement the smart thing to do. For more information on this amazing offer and to get a free in-home estimate, call 855-80-12345. That's 855-80-12345. Or visit them online at qualityfirsthome.com. Quality First Home Improvement, your contractor for life. License number 875772.
Meda Chevy saves you over 20% off factory sticker. Every new 2018 Silverado Crew Cab. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, it's your choice.
3,500 Meda discount, 2,000 customer, 2,000 All-Star cash, 1,500 down payment assistance, 1,000 auto show, and 750 bonus cash. Must finance with GM Financial. See restrictions apply. See dealer for details. Ends 10/31/18.
20% off new Silverados exclusively at Meda Chevy at MedaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Made a great deal at Meda.
Years of drought, millions of dead trees, extreme winds, and leading scientists say there will be even more dangerous fires in the years ahead. Our weather is changing, and we all need to work together to get ready. Hi, I'm Lisa Velis Waweru from PG&E. At PG&E, we are accelerating our forest management work in high fire threat areas, removing dead trees and trimming vegetation back 12 feet from power lines. As part of our community wildfire safety program, we are implementing additional safety measures to further reduce wildfire risks, including a 24-hour wildfire safety operations center, new early warning weather stations, and stronger power lines in high fire threat areas. And we want to make sure you know what steps you can take, like cutting back vegetation around your home, having the right emergency plan, and signing up for safety alerts. For more information on how to keep you and your neighborhood safe, visit pge.com/wildfire safety.
Subject to dealer stock on hand and approved customer credit. See dealer for details.
Here, Roseville, think Lexus. Now think the L Certified Fall Collection event. Cream of the Crop Certified's available right now at Lexus of Roseville, located in the Roseville Auto Mall.
Lexus Roseville. It's the end of the show, but it's the start of your workday. For a cold one, it's What's on Tap. Here's What's on Tap.
All right, we blew through that break to get Iman Shumpert, and he was phenomenal. That gives me just enough time, about 30 seconds actually, to get you What's on Tap. We've got the opening of the NBA season, Philadelphia and Boston, Oklahoma City and Golden State. That all starts at 5 p.m. The Warriors at 7:30. Baseball action, Boston and Houston at 2 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Milwaukee and the Dodgers, game 4 of that series. What a great sports afternoon.